How much chicken do you put in?
So I only had the breast here, the 2 breasts. So we're just going with the 2 breasts today. But I might use for a double batch, I don't know about this because they're large breasts. And then I just put the celery stalks.
And you want the breast that's got the skin and bone.
Right, correct. And we're gonna let that boil till the chicken's done.
For a single batch.
You probably use the 8-quart. But because I'm doubling it, we're gonna use the larger pot.
Okay.
Because you want room for it to float around and not stick together. So.
Do you fill that all the way up with water?
I'd fill it halfway up with the broth.
Okay.
All right, so we have the broth here from the chicken. We took the chicken out. We're going to end up picking that as soon as it cools. We're going to let this, we just turn it down for now. And we're going to take out the celery sticks. You can actually cut it up and leave it in there if you like, but I don't do that. So what we're going to do to this, we're going to add the chicken bouillon and parsley. Let me get that. So I like it really chickeny. So, and of course, you know, I just eyeball it. I just throw it in. Or I heard it was very good, better than bouillon. So I'm not sure how much to put in.
It said on the lid, Scott.
It says 1 teaspoon per cube. But this stuff is really strong because I tried the beef. So there's 1. I might put like, because I put a lot of bouillon in. So we're just going to wing it this time. But if you're going to use the Knorr's cubes or something, I usually put about 5 in there. Only because I'm making a double batch. Maybe if you're doing a single batch, I would use 3 or 4. And then a double batch, maybe 6. 5 or 6. So I just kind of look for the consistency, like the color. Like I like it really chickeny. So we're just going to just put it in and stir it around. And we turned it low. So the next step, once we make the chicken Popeye, I'll turn it back up to get a rapid boil going because you want a rapid boil when you drop the patties. So that'll be the next step. Okay, so I did add a little bit more bouillon because I want to give it, you know, I want that real chicken in it.
And you added water.
Yeah, and I add a little bit more water because I'm making a double batch and I want at least half the pot of water. So it looks like it's good now. So I picked the chicken. I'm just going to put that in. We're going to get that in, and then we're going to turn it up because we're going to start making the patties, and I want this a rolling boil. But it's nice that the chicken's in there because it kind of sinks to the bottom. It protects your Popeye from burning. So Mom always said put the chicken in, take it apart, and once it sits down there, it'll break. Some people use plates, I guess, to protect the bottom from burning. But if I put the chicken in, I find that helps out too. So that's just what I do. So we're going to bring this to a rapid boil. Now we're going to start making the patties. The 3 cups of flour to a half a cup of shortening. Now today I'm doing a double batch because I have my family over. So we're going to do 6 cups of flour to 1 cup of shortening. So we have 1 cup here. What I usually do is break it all up in there first before I start adding the water. So it's each batch is 3 cups of flour to a half a cup of shortening. So we have usually 1 cup of water. We're going to do 2 cups of water because we're doubling it. So I usually break up the shortening in here. I like a lot of salt in mine. I like my Popeye salty. Just have a lot of broth. The chicken broth adds a saltiness, and then salt. So we're gonna break this up. So now we're gonna add the salt. All depends how much you want. Just, I never measure anything, I'm sorry. So
You told me once that you do like 3 coatings.
Yeah,
over.
yeah. So I'm just going to add a little bit more. That's it. So what we're going to do, now we got the Crisco all in there. So because I doubled it, I got at least 2 cups here. So you'll probably need about 2.5 cups. But what I don't put it all in at first, I kind of mix it around. So you want the dough to the point where it's sticky, but not so sticky you can't get it off your hands. So we're going to mix it around. This is a little dry. So we're going to add a little bit more water. And what's nice about this, if you add too much water, you just throw in a little bit more flour. Mix it. This feels good. You want it a little sticky. You just don't want it so sticky that it's gummy. So you see it's coming off my hands. So this is gonna work. If it was really sticky, it would be stuck to my hands. I wouldn't be able to get it off, but it's coming off. So this is perfect. No, none of me. Don't videotape me. You just do a section at a time. I usually I guess it's like 3 balls. Lots of flour. Mom always said, lots of flour everywhere because you don't want it sticking together. But you cut these patties out. So this is the Jersey way. South Jersey. So you want it kind of like the consistency of the depth to be more like pie crust. I think it's, if it gets too thick, and sometimes I find that I have a hard time judging. So I get a paring knife, nothing serrated. And we're gonna make our squares. And usually I go about this size. And maybe I'll cut that one. So what I want to do is make sure everything is completely floured. I kind of flip it over in the flour like that and put it on the plate. This helps it from sticking together. Now you want to put this in the pot right away if you're going to do this. Now if you're going to wait a while, you have guests coming in a couple hours, you want to put wax paper in between each layer because it will stick after a while. But I usually make it just before I'm ready to drop it, so this is fine. I just load it up and I keep on doing this. See, it's like you want a little bit of meat to it, but, and if you find one, let's say this one's a little too thick, you can roll it out. This one might be a little thick. Just roll it out. We just keep on going. We make sure there's flour in between each layer. So what we'll do, we'll just go like that. We'll get our second batch. Okay, so we have a rapid boil. Let me get down here. And we just drop them in. So once you get all these patties dropped in, you want to turn it down to low because you don't want a rapid boil once all the patties get in there because it'll burn. And that's not good. So we just drop them. I just have them on the plate here. I just cut them up so they're ready. Now if it's not thick enough, you can thicken a little bit of the flour in some water and put it in there, or take some of the broth out, which I've done before. Or you see that it's too thick, too early on, you might want to add a little bit more broth. You can't mess it up. We just put the patties in, and you can see it's very runny right now. So once that flour cooks in there, it'll thicken up. But Mom used to say, just bounce it. Bounce it. You just, right in the beginning, you have to really focus on it. It's kind of like pudding. You have to, you know, stir it. But you don't want to stir hard. You just want a bounce. And then maybe just turn it around, because you don't want those patties to stick. And you only have to do this maybe for 10 or 15 minutes. Not even that much. Just to get that initial. So I did turn the, oh, I turned it down too low. Let me turn it up. I did turn it down. So I want to get, you just, I have it on like medium. But I might even go a little bit lower than that once, because I had turned it off. But you want like, not a rapid boil. You don't want that. You just want like a little movement in the Popeye in the water. So we're going to do medium right now. And that'll take about 45 minutes, probably. Not probably, maybe 40 minutes. And you'll see as it cooks, we'll show you in a minute. It'll start to thicken, see. Sometimes I just grab them apart like that. I just make sure that they're not sticking. Slowly turning and bouncing. All right, finished product. So we took some of that broth out, so it thickened up a little bit. And here we go. Jersey Popeye. No, none of me. Don't videotape me.